Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm finally getting to what I watched in the month of April, and yes, you may be noticing that I'm recording this mid-May. I'm definitely going to be uploading it probably a couple days after I've even recorded it, so obviously it's taken a little bit to get to this, and you notice I probably haven't uploaded in the last couple weeks either, but yeah, life's been pretty busy, and I actually had another video already recorded and was working on editing it, and then I was an idiot and accidentally just deleted the whole video, so that's the reason it's been a little bit of a delay in getting to some of these videos. But hopefully, in the next couple days here, I'm going to start recording, get back to a little bit more regular of a schedule, start recording a lot of the videos again. And the first one that we're going to start with is just the What Did I Watch in April video. So let's get to that. So first up, we're going to go through this a lot quicker, I think, than I've been going through some of these videos. So up first, we do have Ghostbusters Afterlife. This one, this so my history with the Ghostbusters was like up until this one, up until Afterlife, which came out a couple years ago. I really hadn't seen a lot of the Ghostbusters, and so I kind of was like binging them really quickly to watch this. And the Ghostbusters franchise, it's just because I'm not as nostalgic with it. I don't love it as much as some people. For me, a lot of them, they just all kind of they feel like Ghostbusters movies. They're all pretty similar in to me in that sense, and so I'm going with about a 3.5 on this one. A lot of people really didn't like it. For me, I thought it was a fun, enjoyable Ghostbusters movie. Up next is Love Lies Bleeding. I'm gonna go with a 3 on this one. Actually, no, I'm gonna go 3.5. I did enjoy. I enjoyed a lot of it. A lot of it was kind of different than what I was expecting, but again, I believe it's her Rose Glass. I believe is the director. After her seeing her last movie, which I'm drawing a blank off the top of my head on what it's called, but after her last movie, I'm well aware that she does a lot of kind of misdirect. It's the what you think you're watching isn't exactly how it's going to go, and so it did make for an enjoyable watch. And then we have Immaculate. I thought Sydney Sweeney was amazing, and I thought she was really good. It's one of the best things I've seen. Her acting skill. Granted, I haven't seen Euphoria, but I just thought she was really good in it. Other than that, I think it was fell a little short of what I think it could have been. And then you're going to see a couple of these films starting here with The Dark Knight. You're going to see a couple films that are kind of finishing up my Christopher Nolan ranked video that I did. So we're throwing The Dark Knight. It's a 5-star. I finally have bumped it up. I kind of had it as sitting at like a 4.5 for a long time, but now I've bumped that up. That's a 5-star movie. Then we have Wish. So it came out at the end of last year. One of the few movies last year that I didn't like see in theaters when it came out, and so finally it got on Disney Plus. Checked it out, and it's I can see why it really got no real box office and no real momentum, in terms of any awards for animated film. It falls really flat, and it's not very memorable at all. Then we have Dunkirk. I am gonna go a 3.5. I've bumped this up each time that I watch it. I think I like it a little bit more and more, but we're gonna sit it at about 3.5. And then we have Musica. I believe is on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna go with 2.5. There were some things that I liked, some things that were kind of sweet, some things that worked really well, but then there was just a lot of it that it just didn't. I wasn't buying into some of the characters. I wasn't buying into kind of the cheesiness of it at times, and so it ultimately was an okay movie, and I liked it as it went on. I kind of was like getting in kind of getting into it a little bit more and more as it went on, but I just ultimately it just kind of fell a little flat for me, so I'm going 2.5. Then we have The Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to go 3.5 for there. And then we have this year's Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. This one, I did like it a little less than the 2021 Ghostbusters. I can't remember which year Afterlife came out. I did like it a little bit less. We're going to put it at about a 3. And then you're going to see there's a couple different franchises here that are going to finish out a lot of the rest of this month that are films that there's an upcoming movie, and so I'm going back and I'm rewatching the whole franchise. And so the first one is Mad Max. And again, I know almost nothing about the Mad Max franchise other than Mad Max Fury Road is a lot of people's like favorite movie. It's one of the best movies ever. So I'm really excited to get to Fury Road. But as of right now, the first Mad Max, I didn't quite love it, and so I'm excited to see how Fury Road maybe kind of changes my opinion of this franchise. Next is How to Have Sex. It was a good movie. I want to say it was Sundance, or it was at a film festival. So a lot of like film critics that had seen it, they were really, you know, buzzing about it. Really had high praise for it. I liked it enough. It's about a 3.5. Mia McKenna Bruce, I think is her name. She was really good in it, and I think she was at least nominated, if not won, like the BAFTA Rising Star Award. So, and I agree with that. She was really good in the film. Then we have Scoop. Um, I'm gonna go about like a 2.5 for Scoop. It's the kind of the a story about the Royals and their drawn a and Prince Andrew, I think is his name, his connection with Jeffrey Epstein and kind of the scandal and the the news, the BBC and like everyone, like their coverage of that story, and with his like interview. So there was times that I thought was really cool and kind of an interesting concept and an interesting movie, but I just didn't quite buy all the acting, all the performances, and ultimately it just kind of was a little bit repetitive of a story. Next, we have Mad Max 2. I will say that I did like this more than the original Mad Max, but I still didn't like love it. And it's one of those that I think on Letterboxd it has like a 3.9 or something. I'm gonna go about a 3.5. I didn't love it like as much as I think a lot of people do, but it is one of those that maybe once I get to Fury Road and Furiosa, the next two movies, hopefully maybe I'll kind of my opinions of the Mad Max franchise kind of changes a little bit, but we'll see. And then we have the Planet of the Apes, the original from 1968, I believe. This I'm putting up at a 4.5. I really loved this a whole lot more than I thought I would. And I will give you a little a spoiler or a little tease for the next video. That is the video. It's a video about Planet of the Apes that I had recorded that I accidentally deleted. So I'm hopefully going to re-record that, and hopefully that's the next video on the channel. And then we have Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, and we're putting that at 4. That was the last Becoming a Better Cinephile movie video that I did on the channel, so I'm putting that at a 4. And then yeah, hopefully Planet of the Apes will be the next video on the channel. Then we have Monkey Man. I love Dev Patel. I don't think I loved this movie quite as much as I was hoping I would, but I still had a great time with it. It's still a good movie. I'm going to go 3.5 there for Monkey Man. And then you're going to notice a thing here over the next four, the next four movies, because I had to sign up for like a 7-day trial to watch these, and so I had to hammer them all out really quick. So first we have Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I'm going to go with a 3.5 for Beneath. Um, Actually, no. I'm gonna go 2.5. You're gonna see here. I get them mixed up a little bit because it's the titles are so similar. So 2.5 for Beneath. This one I think was kind of went a way weirder direction than I was expecting. Then we have, I believe it's Escape is the third one. This one I'm gonna go 3.5 for Escape from the Planet of the Apes. I didn't love kind of the premise, how it sets up at the beginning of the film. I thought it was kind of a little weird and kind of a weird explanation for explaining what happened at the end of Beneath Planet of the Apes. But I did like the rest of the film here from Escape. And then the third one, or I guess it's the fourth, Planet of the Apes movie, I believe was Conquest. If I'm messing up the titles, forgive me. I'm trying to remember them. I'm gonna go 3.5 for Conquest as well. That was kind of the first where you get Caesar, the story of Caesar, and so I liked that. So I'm going 3.5 there, and then the last one I believe is not War, because that's the Battle for the Planet of the Apes. That one I'm gonna go like a 2.5 as well. And then after that the 4-day period where I was just binging all the Planet of the Apes movies, the old ones, we then get back to the Mad Max franchise. This is Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Um, this one, I think I'm gonna go like a 2.5 on this one. This is another one where a lot of people really, I could tell in Letterboxd, this is another one that people really dug. For some reason, I'm just not really getting into the Mad Max franchise. And again, I still haven't seen Fury Road, and so I know that hopefully maybe that's just one that kind of reinvigorates my love or helps me gain a love for the franchise. But as of right now, Mad Max, it's just each of the films, they're not that I'm not really getting to them yet. Speaking of not really into them, we've got a good stretch here of movies. We're going to start off with Rebel Moon Part 1 and Rebel Moon Part 2. I just I don't know how to explain the Rebel Moon movie. So I didn't see the part 1 that came the the Scargiver, or is that part 2? I can't even remember the names of like the Child of Fire, I think is one of them. I didn't see part 1 when it came out at the end of last year because I figured, oh, I'll wait till part 2 next year. I'll kind of watch them back to back and then, kind of put them together. And I just there's something about this that I can't remember like a sci-fi adventure movie like this that has come out in the last couple of years that I just was like so uninterested in from like start to finish. Both of these films, I just could not get into them like whatsoever. Maybe in a couple years. I mean, it's gonna be a couple years because I don't unless a part 3 comes out in the next little bit because I'm just not really interested in seeing them. But maybe in a couple years I'll give them another shot and just see if there's something there. But I just was really just not invested at all. And then next up we have 2001, the Planet of the Apes reboot, and that one's going at a 1.5. So again, nice little stretch there for me, 3 films in a row. And then we have Abigail. This one I ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would, but I would have enjoyed it so much more if I hadn't seen any trailers. So if you haven't seen any trailers for this movie, go into Abigail as blind as you can, and I think you're going to have a lot more fun. And then next up is Hundreds of Beavers. This is one where, again, I think maybe it was Sundance or it was at a film festival, and a lot of people were praising it and were so in love with the film. And I can totally understand where people are coming from. Maybe I wasn't quite in the mood for this kind of silent comedy, kind of throwback type film, and so I just didn't like. I wasn't into it as much as a lot of people have been. So I'm gonna go with like a 3 for Hundreds of Beavers, but I do totally understand where people are really digging it and they're into it. For me, maybe it's another one. I'll give it another shot in a little bit and see if I like it a little bit better. But for now, we're going a 3. And then we've got Bob Marley One Love. I didn't see this in theaters when it came out, but it is now streaming on um, Paramount, I believe. Yeah, I believe it was Paramount. I'm going like a 2.5. The movie's not good, but for me, a lot of the musician biopics, for me, if they're not good, at least you can still kind of take away that you're getting to listen to a great musician. Getting to listen to some of their music, and so that was kind of the positive I liked about Bob Marley One Love. So we're going 2.5, and then we have the greatest hits. It was often cheesy, and there was times where I'm like, it wasn't like amazing, but there were parts of it that I thought were sweet, and I did really like the ending of this film. But I'm gonna go about a 3.5 there. And then we have Late Night with the Devil. Um, Caught this one now that it's on demand. I'm gonna go 3 for Late Night with the Devil. There are things that I thought like worked really well with the film. And obviously there's the AI controversies and things like that that I didn't let it kind of impact my viewing of the film or my overall enjoyment of the film. I just didn't quite love it as much as I think a lot of people really did. And then a banger at the end here. We're going the Planet of the Apes. This is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I'm going 4 stars. Again, this is the first time that I've watched any of the Planet of the Apes movies, and I'll just say that I am pleasantly surprised by how much I'm loving the franchise, as of right now. So we're gonna bump this up a little bit. Actually, we can make this pretty big because we had nothing below a 1 star. So we're gonna go all the way up to here, and then as we do at the end of these rankings, we're gonna or after the putting them on the tier maker, we're gonna then go and organize them in each of the tiers. So 1.5s, flip a coin, I guess, between the Rebel Moons, but I'm gonna probably put the Planet of the Apes movie ahead of them ever so slightly, and then Wish gets its own spot in 2. For the 2.5s, let's go with Musica Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, Scoop. Probably that Musica Beneath the Planet of the Apes, um, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, Scoop, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and then Bob Marley. At the 3 stars, let's go with. Mm, Ooh, this is tricky. Um, it might be like this. I might go Mad Max, Immaculate, Ghostbusters, Hundred of Beavers, Late Night with the Devil. Or maybe, probably Late Night with the Devil, and then Hundreds of Beavers at the back, probably. Three and a half. This is going to be the fun one. Like, where do we start here? I'm probably going to go Monkey Man, Love Lies Bleeding come up at the top. Um, Dark Knight Rises probably is in front of them. Probably have Dunkirk up there. Escape from the Planet of the Apes is probably pretty high up. How to Have Sex is above Ghostbusters. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, there are so many films here. This is hard to organize them. Let's go. Honestly, the Ghostbusters might actually be at the bottom, and then Abigail probably comes up to maybe like there, and then Greatest Hits. Yeah, probably sits there. So I think maybe that's my order: Dark Knight Rises, Monkey Man, Love Lies Bleeding, Dunkirk, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Abigail, How to Have Sex, Mad Max 2, Conquest for the Planet of the Apes. Um, yeah, Greatest Hits, Ghostbusters. Okay, I think that's my ranking. And then we go to the 4 stars. We're going to go with the Planet of the Apes above Doctor Strange Love, or Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I keep forgetting there's so many different, like, the words that go before it. And then we'll go with the OG Planet of the Apes, and then the Dark Knight Rises. So, again, that is my ranking. Again, as I mention all the time with all my ranking videos, I might flip this around. I might switch this up within the next day or two. The rankings, they are obviously aren't set in stone, but as of right now, as of this recording, that's how I'm liking that. And again, yeah, thank you for watching this video, and thanks for waiting for the couple weeks for anyone that actually watches all my videos. Hopefully in the next little bit here, the next couple days, hopefully I'll kind of get more into a regular recording schedule and actually be able to start putting the videos out, and hopefully I don't delete any of my recorded videos again. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.